What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to use a riv nut gun. They're super cool. I wasn't exactly sure how to use it until I ordered one, and I wanna show you, why it's beneficial, where I'm gonna use it, why I'm gonna use it as opposed to other mounting methods, and how you can do it yourself at home for about a little less than like $100 for everything. So let's go. So today's project and the victim of the riv nut gun is the seemingly never-ending project of wiring my truck. What the riv nut gun does, if you are watching this, you probably already know, but it allows you to insert basically a threaded nut essentially to a panel without welding it or having to hold it from the backside. So my options for this, right? This is an aluminum panel, so I could go buy some aluminum studs. I could buy some bare aluminum rod and try to cut threads in it, which would never happen. Or I can drill a hole, run a bolt through, and run a nut on the backside. All those are options, but why do that if you can riv nut it? Now the only setback to using a riv nut, and this is what it looks like, is its depth, right? So if I didn't have, let me try to get to focus here. If I didn't have the depth behind this panel, then using something this deep wouldn't work. They have lots of different riv nuts, lots of different sizes, and they have them in aluminum and steel. I'm using aluminum riv nuts, and I think I just got them in like a bulk pack. I paid like 10 bucks for like 100 of these things. These are M6 by 1.0. When you buy them, you want to buy, whatever common size you happen to use on your vehicle. I think I put this entire thing together with M6s and M8s, so it just makes it easy. Just buy a variety bag that's got everything in there, and you get a lot of options in assorted sizes. So what we got to do first is drill a hole. The way this riv nut gun works is exactly like a standard rivet gun that you would use on like an aluminum or steel rivet when you're holding a panel together. But the difference is that it's got this threaded end on it. Now there are different, I like to call them dies, but these change based on your thread size, right? So this is an M6 by 1.0 thread, and the reason being is because you thread the riv nut to the end of it. Now the way this gun works is you've got your proper size thread on here, you've got your riv nut that matches, and you want to take it with the face down and thread it onto this stud. The aluminum ones, you got to be a little more careful because you can strip them. They're super, super soft. And you can see it's already maxed out, so it's bottomed out on the length of this threaded shaft here. Now when you go like this, it actually gets taller, and that's because the rivet gun is open, so to speak. So you thread it all the way down, and then what you do is you would take it, insert it through the hole, and you would pull the two arms together, and then it would essentially lock itself in place. Now you don't always get the entire range of it when you do it, so sometimes, just like with a standard rivet gun, when you choke up on your stud, the same thing happens here. And I'll show you when I install it, but you'll squeeze it, it'll lock in, but it'll still feel a little bit loose, and then you're gonna take this knob and you're actually gonna crank it just a little bit more so that you choke up all the way against the surface, because as you start to open this rivet out, it will get a little bit looser. And you want to make sure you open this all the way so that it's properly locked in. If you don't do that right and you take it out, you can get it like loosely stuck in your panel, and then it will wiggle as you try to tighten certain things to it or put a bolt in it. So I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to install this rivet in place, and then I will show you what happens when you tighten this down and how to choke up on the rivet properly so it sits in there nice and tight. Okay, so getting started, you need to mark out where you want your hole to be. I've got my, in this case it's the HID ballast module, like I said before. So I've got my module, and I position it where I want it. And you gotta look at other stuff too. Make sure you have room for your wires, or your pipes, or whatever it is you're routing or moving around. Now I know I want it right here, so I take a Sharpie, and I've already got a mark in there, but just to show you, you just wanna mark your center point for where you want your hole. And boom, now we're through. Okay, so now that your hole is drilled, go ahead and test fit your riv nut and just make sure it fits in there and it bottoms out all the way flush with the panel. You can see the flange hit the bottom, it was all the way in. You're gonna take your riv nut tool, you're gonna thread it down, flange down, you're gonna thread it all the way down the stud until it bottoms out. It doesn't have to be super, super tight, but it just needs to max out, so you can see it's just finger tight, not even really. You're gonna put this in here like this, and you're gonna push forward, and you're gonna pull the levers together at the same time, just like a regular rivet gun. Now the rivet nut would stay in place, but it's not fully maxed out as far as how tight it needs to be. So you can see I can easily turn this. I'm gonna turn this a little bit till it chokes up. I'm just gonna do 2.5 turns, and I'm gonna pull on it one more time, and I'm gonna check it again. Now this thing still has play, you still have room. You can see I can still turn it a little bit. Check it again. And I don't have any more play in this. So now you very carefully want to try to loosen this, and it is going to feel super, super tight. You just want to turn it slow because you can, especially because this is steel and we're using aluminum riv nuts, you can actually strip the riv nut out before you ever use it. So just gently kind of turn this. Don't put a ton of pressure on this in either direction, and just back this out slow. Now as you start to get further out, raise up on this and kind of take the pressure off the stud so it's not putting all that weight on the inside of the riv nut. And there you go. It comes out just like that. You can put this away and you're done. Now you can use it for whatever you need. I like to use these fancy, not very expensive, eBay anodized bolts. And there you go. Now you successfully installed a riv nut, installed something new to a panel, and you didn't have to do a whole lot of work. You didn't have to weld any studs, you didn't have to reach on the backside and hold it with a wrench, and you can move on to whatever else it is you have to do. All right guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I know it was quick and I know it was short, but I hope it helps you out. If you have any questions about riv nuts and aren't sure how to use them or what they are or where to get them, that I have answered some of that for you. Now, I got my gun off of eBay. I know they have them on Amazon as well, and I think I paid like $65 shipped, and it came with a handful of riv nuts as well. So go ahead and make sure you have the sizes you need when you buy yours. If they don't come with it, then just, add them. They're not expensive. I think I got like a pack of 100 for $10 or something like that. So it's not bad. You can get various different sizes, and now you can, put riv nuts all over the place and just do whatever you want. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.